Let's go. AOE League's 2v2 Division A semifinal set. A matchup between Team Top One, the 1 seed going into the playoffs, versus HALA, that's high APM, low APM, the 4 seed going into the playoffs. So Team Top One banning Land Madness, picking Arena and Beaver Dam. HALA banning Nomad, picking Step and Gold Rush. So Arena really the only non-aggressive map here. Otherwise, we're looking at Arabia, Beaver Dam, Steppe, and Gold Rush. So those are 4 relatively open maps. That makes it a little bit tricky here to guess which civs are going to be used. But this is Team Top One on the left here. Sitaux, the captain of the draft here. Banning Ethiopians. And then looking at picks here, I mean, we've got Britons. That's probably going to be one of the open Archer civs. Dravidians, probably one of the open Archer civs. I guess Chinese as well. And what would be the 4th here? I guess you play Mongols, perhaps. For Cav civs, we're looking at Huns, Persians, Berbers, Bulgarians. I'm guessing Poles is for Arena, Portuguese for Arena. Yeah, my guess there. Dravidians, that's probably the Archer civ that's going to be used on Beaver Dam, since you don't know whether the Archer player or the Cav player is going to generate close to the water. But we shall see. Over on the other side, for Team HALA, banning Garharas, the most banned civ throughout the tournament this season. In mine, it's Franks. That's very possibly Arabia. I mean, Magyars, Vietnamese, another possibility. Hindustani Saracens. Those are probably for 3 of the open maps. What about Arena? Could be Koreans Khmer, although Khmer, that might be for Steppe. Could be Koreans Teutons, Koreans Italians, Teutons Italians. Although Italians, that's probably for Beaver Dam. Again, for the purpose of potentially playing water. Saracens might also be for Beaver Dam. Who knows? No more speculation. Let's jump into the games. Game number 1 on Arabia. Let's go. Okay, so Team HALA in the blue and green. We've got Acro in the blue playing as the Magyars. And Philip in the green playing as the Vietnamese. So Vietnamese Magyars up against Huns and Dravidians. Kougrialka, she'll be playing as the Dravidians, and Sitaux playing as the Huns. So we've got a Cav v Cav matchup. Is that right? Yeah, Cav v Cav matchup, Archer v Archer matchup. This is interesting, though. I seem to recall Sitaux normally playing the Archer role, Kougri normally playing the Cav role. At least those are the roles they played when I played against them. It looks like they are reversing roles here. Let's take a quick look at the map for these teams. For our Cav player here, this is not ideal. Berries forward, gold pretty forward. On the bright side, oh dear, we appear to have a bugged replay. This has been a significant issue since the latest patch. Yeah, this replay's bugged. In fact, it appears to have completely crashed the game. Okay. Well, that is most unfortunate. So we will need to take a look at who won this game. Let's take a look on AOE 2 Insights. And try very carefully not to spoil the results of the games to follow. While we're doing that, I will get the game reloaded up here for game number 2. Yeah, apologies about that. That is a serious bummer. Okay. So here's the result. Game number 1 was taken by HALA. A 42-minute game. Give me a second to get Capture H back up and running here. can do this, however. It ain't the same, but you can watch through the 10 times speed analysis replay here on AOE2Insights to at least get a feel for the gist of the game. 42-minute game, so it looks like it went into Imperial Age. Let's jump forward until we jump into feudal. All right, Kougri getting some early walls up. I can see a lot of Sitaux action here, a lot of Philip action over here. Ooh, tower defense here for Kougri. Looks like protecting the gold out front. Sitaux half-walled there. Kougri full-walled at this point. It looks like some real aggression against Kougri, being picked on in the woodlines in the back. Sitaux has come over there to help. We're at 15 minutes right now, so a lot of feudal age action, it looks like. Real bummer we missed out on this game. Philip still very aggressive over here. All right, looks like Sitaux with a counterattack, the 17-minute mark. Also has some units over here. Castle should be coming in here pretty soon. But most of the action has been over on this side of the map. So it looks like HALA maintained initiative throughout most of feudal age. That looks like probably a second stable coming down there for cav play for HALA. The aggression continuing over here against Kougri's base. We're now at 24 minutes. No one has added a second TC at this point, so it looks like this must have been an extended feudal age. All right, so Tau the first to drop a second town center. Yeah, wondering if it was a 3-stable play here from our Magyar's player. Some aggression over in Sitau's face. And here comes a third town center. We're at 30 minutes and still no one else has dropped additional town centers apart from Sitaux. All right, aggression looks like it has in early Castle Age shifted over towards HALA. Here comes a second town center for blue. More action in front of Sitau's base. A lot of action in front of Sitau's base. Third TC for blue. Both the archers have remained on 1 TC throughout Castle Age. Yeah, and it looks like there is a lot of crap in Sitau's base. It looks like this game is starting to come to a close. Units all over the place. Yeah, as well as some archers in front of Kougri's base. Pings going off like crazy over there. The aggression is completely flipped over towards Top One's base. And it looks like what happened here was Top One just was completely overwhelmed in mid to late Castle Age. And with that, we come to the end of the replay. So at this point, Team Top One resigned. Game number 1 going to HALA. So that will take us to Arena. One of the home maps for for Top One. And let us pray that this replay is not likewise bugged. Because I can't say watching 2D images on AOE2Insights is nearly as exciting. All right, here we go. Arena. Game number 2, game number 1 going to HALA. And what are we looking at? Sitaux playing as the Poles, so we get that guess right. Kougri as the Portuguese. All right, so we got Poles, Portuguese correct. Kougri here in the red, Sitaux in the purple. Yeah, League Arena and Standard Arena is, I think, completely identical. The only maps that really need to be played from the League map pack are the maps with nomadic starts, because the ones in the map pack are all no treaty versions of those maps. And then obviously Beaver Dam and Karga, the 2 custom maps, are only available from the map pack. All right, on the other side for HALA, we've got Koreans and Teutons. Koreans for Philip, Teutons for Acro. So what are we going to see? I mean, Poles, that's probably Tower Rush, but this is actually really unfortunate if you're Sitaux and you are looking at the Tower Rush. I mean, on the one hand, you can't ask for better mineral generation if you're Sitaux. All the res is forward, so if you got towers here and you're able to push in, Acro's going to have 0 access to gold, 0 access to stone. I mean, this is almost like restart-worthy bad mineral generation. On the bright side, for Acro, Teutons. And tower rushing on Teutons, not recommended. Towers can garrison additional villagers, so the damage output from those towers is greatly increased. I mean, one possibility would be that Sitaux could push on the Koreans player, but that's longer transit time for the villagers if he's going for the tower rush. And it's going to be less effective because Philip here with some nice safe minerals in the back. Back gold, back stone. And then the distance between this gold and this stone is significant. So you got to go for one mineral type or the other. So maybe Sitaux will not be opting for Tower Rush. Maybe he'll just try to get a castle, go for Castle Age Knight spam. Maybe we'll get an Organ Gun push from the Portuguese player. Could go Organ Gun Knight push. But I'm assuming we're going to see Castle Age aggression from this side as well. Probably War Wagon Knight push and Castle Age. Could go War Wagon and just have the Teutons player boom it out. We'll see. In any case, I am going to fast forward a little bit here just until one of these players clicks up. And definitely want to keep an eye on Sitaux here. See when he opts to go to stone. That might be an indicator of whether he's thinking Tower Rush or thinking FC into Knights. Not opting for stone yet. And given how many villas he's got queued, it's not looking like it's going to be a Tower Rush. Looking like, yeah, I mean, he's probably thinking the same thing we are. He's like, I'm not Tower Rushing against Teutons. We got stone now for our Koreans player. I wonder if we'll see the play I've seen a few times from Koreans players where go up a little bit slower with the... No, this is, yeah, 25 pop-up, so it looks like standard fast castle. I've seen players go up a little bit later so as to drop 2 castles immediately upon hitting Castle Age. But I don't know if that's something players at this higher elo are opting for. No gold, though, being taken for our Koreans player. Curious if... Yeah, he must be just selling stone to get the gold. Has 110, so I must have sent a vill to gather 10 gold. Got a 28 pop uptime here for Kougri. All right, so Castle Age on the way for 3 of our 4 players. Kougri will be up a little bit later. And yeah, will our Teutons player be going for a boom or going for early knights? No barracks being constructed yet, so I'm guessing the Teutons player at least wants to boom it out for a bit. We do have stone here for Sitaux, so I think he's definitely thinking castle, get the unique tech, spam knights to support an organ gun push. And Kougri's definitely thinking organ guns as she's on stone over here. Obviously, we're getting war wagons from our Koreans player. Yeah, home map again for top one. So whatever they're going with, this is a prepared strategy. Nice little area. You could expand your eco later on. Get a little 3-tile stone wall there. Look at this, though. Philip is going to be aggressive. Is going to come drop the castle right in Kougri's face. Kougri's going to be up a little bit later. So that's what that means is she's not going to be able to get a castle up front here. She's going to have to play it a little further back. Fortunate for her, she doesn't have really any essential resources here. But we're now going to be looking at war wagons up against organ guns. And I actually have no idea how those 2 units fare against each other. Yeah, Kougri, I think, wisely getting some additional walls up here. Might be worth just investing in a stone wall there. She might not want to spend the stone because she wants to be able to get that defensive castle down as soon as possible. Alright, Sitaux and Acro duking it out over there. We got 3 TC for Sitaux, 3 TC for our Teutons player. Question is, let's see, Sitaux only on 140 stone, so I think wants to boom it out at least for a while here. Second castle in Philip's future. Look how fast these walls go down. So, Kougri's gonna have to hurry to get this castle up. Is gonna complete the stone wall there. Probably wants to get this little gap walled as well. Maybe wall in a bit. Make sure those the war wagons have to come under that castle. Alright, stone being taken here for Acro. Maybe for purposes of castle defense. We'll have to see. Yeah, the war wagons already moving into Kougri's territory here. Here come the organ guns. But one thing this castle will do is it's definitely going to, I mean, it sort of offers a cushion for your Teutons player because Kougri is going to be a bit preoccupied here, so she's not going to be able to just move out with organ guns, be hyper aggressive against either of these other players. So this forward castle almost acts as the best kind of defensive castle when you want to both defend yourself as Philip and you want to allow Acro to have a nice safe boom. What is the population looking like? Sitaux going heavier to stone now. It's 10 vills on stone. At 45 vills, 43 here for Acro. Teutons, of course, with incredible boom. Good war wagon production here. These vills already moving forward. Going to be enough stone for an additional castle. I think Philip wants to drop it here, so he's going to secure this gold and that neutral gold. And that's going to put Kougri in a pretty, not a great spot. She's going to be completely pinned in here. She does have 2 safe golds still. That's good for her. Oh, wait. No, this is going to be right in Sitau's face. Interesting. So Philip has completely shifted his aggression over to Sitaux. Now, Sitaux will have enough stone for a defensive castle here quite soon. Hasn't reacted yet. Let's see the response. No vills moving in that direction yet. Organ guns are moving in here. Alright, let's see how these units trade against each other. Kougri possibly deny this castle. Working guns trading really well. The castle's going to go up, however. And that means those war wagons will have a safe place to hide out. But dang, the working guns trade better with war wagons than I would have guessed. Alright, here comes Sitau's castle. However, though, Sitaux, there's a big open gap here. Is he going to be able to wall this up? How is he going to handle that? Bill's continuing to move forward. They're actually going to take this gold right from out in front of Sitaux. No respect. Yeah, and these war wagons are already in, and they're in mass, and Sitaux could be in a bit of trouble here. Getting a monastery down, but it's just down now. Working guns are here, however. And as we've seen, these do trade quite nicely. A lot of those are pretty low HP. But this is a tremendous amount of idle time for Sitaux. We're looking at like 25 plus farms that he's had to idle at the moment. And that is gonna allow the Teuton player to get ahead in the boom. Sitau's actually clicked up. He's up at 70 vills. I guess he's thinking that he wants to treb this castle down. But going up this early means the Teuton's player is definitely going to have an eco advantage. So I'm a bit worried about what that might mean for the late game. Alright. The war wagon's doing just fine here against the working guns. Still idling like a lot of Sitau's eco. Sitau's got a mango out. No monks yet. Alright, the Vil difference up to 7 at the moment, so not a huge disparity. Only 44 Vils for Philip, 47 for Kougri, so those two players on roughly equal footing in terms of the eco, but Philip has been causing quite a bit more damage. Obviously, the Teuton's player has been completely untouched. Free boom up to 90 Vils. And I think that eco lead will continue. Alright, has clicked up himself. Starting to produce barracks. Yeah, that makes sense. You could go... I guess you could go like Siege Halb in this kind of position because... You know, Sitau's going to be trying to go for the knight play. And... The only other thing you're up against is working guns, right? You can get Onager to SO. We'll deal with those quite well. This is incredible pressure here from Philip. Really enjoying this. But look at this. Another castle coming down here. And Sitaux is up. He can start getting the trebs out. Start trebbing this down. But they're just buying so much time for the Teuton's player. Really hampering Sitau's ability to boom out here. A lot of stables coming down. So maybe it's just going to be Paladin. Deny this castle. No, it's gonna go up. Alright, Sitaux, 2 trebs out. They are very much on a clock because Macro is probably gonna have a flood of Paladin in the not too distant future. Sitaux actually has maintained the Vil production a bit. The Vil difference between these two teams, only 10 at the moment. But in the late game, Teuton's of course having access to Paladin. Poles only having access to Cavalier. Teuton's also have better halbs. Is that right? I think what... Can't even recall what the relevant bonuses are for poles. Alright, War Wagons shifting their attention over to Kougri's base. Looks like they might be trying to cut off reinforcements. That's a nice play. This castle just about down as well. That again, has bought time for Acro. Acro securing a bit of map control. And where does Sitaux go from here at the moment? Just now starting to get stables down. Cavalier upgrade on the way. Pardon me, Cavalier upgrade on the way for Acro. Sitaux clicking Cavalier as well. HALA firm map control at the moment, so they've got access to all these neutral golds. A second TC's been added for Philip. Still a 1 TC play here for Kougri. Yeah, so how do you push right now if you're top one? Is the composition? I think they were really banking on being able to get castle pressure. And obviously that did not happen. Philip initiating the action and keeping all the pressure on top of top one. Kougri is actually up to Imperial Age at 55 vills, so she's going to go for Trebs. She's going to take this castle out. But I don't know that it's the biggest deal for Philip. And apart from the fact that that castle is the only remaining source of war wagon production. Sitaux defending with Trebs, but here comes some Trebs for Acro, getting another castle down to secure more res. Trebs of his own. Sitaux with the Treb defense against the war wagons. Yeah, HALA has just done such a better job of being the aggressor here. Sitaux does have a good eco behind this. But again, it's just an issue of map control at the moment. And military. HALA with twice the military at the moment. And look at that. Paladin is in. The Onager upgrade on the way. Siege engineers. I mean, how on earth do you defend this right now? I don't know what Sitaux can do in this situation. Kougri's coming over with some organ guns. They are elite, but there's so many paladin, there's war wagons all over the place. And they are in. Yeah, this is I think the GG is not too far off. Look how compact Sitau's base is because he's been pinned in here this whole time. Gonna be looking at Paladin War Wagon up against Organ Gun Cavalier. Now, there are castles causing some additional DPS here. Paladin breaking through the walls on that end. Ooh. Sitaux managed to get. Oh no, okay, there's still a gap. Nice repairs there from Acro, keeping that Treb alive. Paladin starting to spread throughout the eco. The Vill lead 30 now for HALA. This is going to be a 2-0 lead. Vills are going down absolutely everywhere. Cavalier getting in on the action, but Cavalier against Paladin. War wagons, they can tank this castle fire all day long. This is looking bleak for top one. They are 60 Vills down. This is going to be 2-0. No doubt about it. Treb's getting some nice shots on the war wagons, though. Sitaux actually has just about cleared up the Paladin at this point. Top one with the military lead, but they are down by about 80 Vills, and HALA with all the map control, they're just going to be able to rebuild their army well before top one's able to make any sort of significant counterattack. Additional castle coming down here for Kougri. She's going to have pretty limited production, only 64 Vills. Philip up to 84. Look at that, Sitaux down to 83 Vills. There's still one Paladin in here on Like 2 HP. Still killing Vils. See how many he gets. Just third. Or 4. How many kills does this guy have? Oh. That's right, we don't have pro. The Vils continue to go down. Alright. This may be the game-ending fight. Sitaux does have numbers, but these are Paladin up against Cavalier. That castle does go down. Sitaux doing his best to take the most efficient fight he can. There are some organ guns in the mix. The Paladin reinforcements greatly outpacing the organ gun or Cavalier reinforcements. Bill lead is at 70. Paladin are cleaning all. Yeah, this is going to be GG here. These Trebs going down as well. These Trebs going down. All the siege off the field. Hope of counterattack is now completely dead. Score difference is only 1,000, but I don't even think the game is that close. Look at the Paladin flood just continuing. And gold for days here for the Teutons player. So many Paladin. And these castles, they don't even have fletching, correct? The damage output on those is quite minimal. Alright, Vils coming forward for a castle that will sever Sitaux and Kougri from being able to support each other. And there is nothing that Team Top One can do to stop this. Not with this kind of Paladin support. 58 Paladin. Holy smokes. Fully upgraded. Hero Age on the way here for Philip. And what's the transition Philip's going to be making? Yeah, HALA. It is a massacre. Organ guns are delaying this castle, but there's no way they're going to be able to deny it. $100 difference, twice the military. There's not a chance of a comeback at this point. Some more organ guns here. Let's see if Kougri's able to bring those out. And now some HALB just to add insult to injury. Make these trades even worse for Team Top One on this side. This castle is just about finished. That'll secure yet more gold for HALA. See if we get some Treb production to try to deal with that castle. Sitaux has managed to keep his base alive. At least the part inside of the walls. His gold is starting to quickly dry up. And Bombard's on the way for the Koreans player. Another castle here for Acro. Grab on the way out there as well. Yeah, Sitaux, I mean, they can't take any fighting at this point with all those HALB on the field. There are a lot of castles here for Kougri. Oh dear. Paladin are in. Looks like someone left the door open. Pardon me, the HALBs, not the Paladin. Although that, yeah, I guess that was intentional by Sitaux. Draw them in, let the castle clean them up, let the organ guns clean them up. Look at this, though. Acro's just going to drop castles with Paladin. Got so many of them. They're going to break in here. I'm just going to dive underneath here to take Trebs and organ guns. Why not? You don't even need to take super efficient trades at this point. Just need to kill off the enemy's military because You have access to all the gold on the map. Top one is though, holding on for an amazing amount of time. Look at this, though. Philip is walling in Sitaux here. They're just going to completely starve him out. Old school siege. Keeps coming down as well. The Paladin have returned. Yeah, and Kougri's going to have to get through this castle just to get to Sitaux. This is amazing. I love this. I love this. And the GG's called. It's a bummer. I wanted to see if they completed this wall all the way to the wood line. It's so cheeky. Yeah, well, that was just a dominant performance by HALA. 2-0 lead. Look at the stats here. Kougri actually had a positive KD there. Organ guns are high DPS unit. And of course, our Teutons player with a 2-1 KD, taking out 26 buildings as well. Unsurprisingly, vastly superior eco to everyone else. But I really think Philip, the MVP of that game, the forward pressure with those war wagons, basically fully occupying two players, giving the Teutons player full boom. I thought that was really, really well played there with the castle placement, war wagon push, and so forth. All right. With that, let's go to game number 3. All right, game number 3 will be on Beaver Dam. This is the second home map for Top One. The map, unsurprisingly, I am quite partial towards. Here we go. Team Top One fighting for their tournament lives here. They lose this game. They are out of the tournament. HALA would advance to the finals. Sitaux playing as the Mongols, Kougri as the Persians. So these should be pretty good civs for this map, and the placement works out nicely. Kougri, Persians player will be able to play water here. Mongols player will be able to be extremely aggressive with the scouts, and there is quite a bit of additional hunt. Although actually, as far as this map goes, this is kind of a crap generation for Sitaux. Often you get the additional, so here's his like starting deer. Often you'll get the additional deer patches quite a bit closer. These ones are a good ways out there. There are 6 deer, so it's definitely worth milling. 6 deer down here as well, although the placement's a bit awkward. All right, on the other side, Acro playing as the Hindustanis. And on the northern end, Philip as the Italian. So again, it working out nicely for their team. Getting the player who probably wanted to play water, generating closer to the water. So I think we're going to see Italians v Persians on water. Kougri versus Philip. And we'll probably see Acro playing scouts and Sitaux playing scouts. Now, some teams have not opted to play feudal. They've tried to go for an FC because you do get all these wood lines generating along the river. Some teams have tried to wall this up, but as you can see, that is a very significant investment. And I do not think I've seen it work out successfully for any team yet. So this is a new map. It was created specifically for this season of the tournament. And so obviously no established meta before this tournament, but we have seen one start to develop, and feudal pressure seems to be that meta. Here comes Kougri heading out for the dock. When are we going to get a dock here from our Italians player? Actually only has 3 on wood, so maybe not thinking of docking, or maybe thinking of docking late. Very surprised if they don't play water. The quantity of fish here is pretty decent. Right? You got a dock here, and you're looking at 5 deep water fish. And then also just the value of denying your opponent's fish. So yeah, I would be surprised if Philip doesn't try to go water at some point, but maybe he's thinking of just getting a dock on the way up to Feudal Age, so he can get a really fast uptime and then go fires. And that's why he's going only 3 to wood and then just hamming food. But heading out to gold now. So use that wood to build a mining camp as opposed to a dock. What to make of that? Keep looking at. Interesting. Sitaux getting a barracks already. Is he going men-at-arms? Why else would he have a barracks now? He was going scouts. Yeah, there's got to be men-at-arms from Sitaux. Men-at-arms that'll be up against the Hindustani's player. Still very curious to see what Philip's going for here. I'm guessing it's got to be straight archers. Yeah, he's going 18 pop. This is going to be a straight archers play. Here comes the barracks. I'm guessing, yeah, so archer scouts, and on this side it's going to be men-at-arms into archers for Sitaux. And I guess we're going to have scouts from Kougri here. Alright, Kougri's going to have to be really careful, though, here. She, I'm sure, doesn't realize Philip is going to have this insanely fast uptime. So this scout is going to be a feudal scale in the not-too-distant future. I don't think Kougri's going to get this thing fully walled before that scout is up to feudal age, which means Philip can hold the door open here. Now, this is a nice woodline generation for top one. And an easy wall off here. You can wall there, wall there. Alright, here come the militia forward. These will be men-at-arms in the not-too-distant future. Could push Acro off of the berries, which is definitely what you want to do when you're up against a Cav player. Or is Sitaux going to go straight for the archer player? Go for the archer player. That's surprising. And it's not going to work out if he does, because we're going to have some really early archers. Yeah, that's the way Sitau's heading. I mean, look, Sitaux knows a lot better than me the best place to go here, but Sitaux also probably not sure yet what the Italians player is going for. And this is interesting. I think this is the first game I've seen where one team just completely ignored water. So if top one can hang in there through the early feudal pressure, they're certainly going to have an advantage. Sitaux hasn't yet gotten any value from these units. Ooh, and is actually able to take out Acro Scout under the TC there. Hasn't gotten any value with this Drush yet, apart from forcing some reactions in the form of quick walls. Alright, but archers are already on the move here for Philip. Ooh, Kougri is actually going to get the walls all the way up, though. Looks like that scout did not clean her Ville. Something I wanted to keep an eye on. And look at this. Sitaux is scoping out, looking for a dock here to clean up. There's no dock. So, yeah, I definitely think at this point, knowing what we know, it would have been better for Sitaux to stay down there. But obviously he didn't have access to all the information we do as birds in the sky. Alright. Kougri just now dropping a dock. And yeah, produced fires even though there's nothing on water. Might still be worth it to have just one fire out there just to patrol, prevent a future dock from coming up. And this isn't the worst thing in the world for Sitaux either. Drawing these archers all the way into the back corner of the map. Better here than pushing forward on their base. But we do have 4 archers here. No fletching yet, so they're not terribly scary. Sitaux, you have 2 range archers for him. Oh, interesting. We have a Ville going forward here for Acro. What's with the Ville? Oh, and look, the scouts are in just before Sitaux can get the walls up, and they get a Ville pick as well. Now, Sitaux should be able to finish just getting this up. He's got 2 Villes there. Villes on Sitau's wood line. And that is Sitau's only lumber camp, so that's actually really unfortunate for him. Turned out to be a bad place to drop the lumber camp. I guess had he dropped it here, he probably would have been fine. Maybe a lumber camp there. But hard to know that in advance. Oh no! They break through the foundation of the stone wall there. And these scouts are going to hold the door open. The archers are going to come down. Uncharacteristic mistake there from Sitaux. Let's see if he can drive them back with the archers and the spears. He might just be able to get this cleaned up. Okay. Works out fine for Sitaux. And I'm actually not sure why the scouts didn't attack the villas. I don't understand that at all. Could have had one scout stay there to keep the gap open and clean the villas. Yeah, that was very strange. Alright, Sitau's going to try to get the gaps clogged before those archers get in. I don't know if he knows about this hole up here in the wood line, however. Interesting, a forward blacksmith. Nothing scarier than that, but this house is down. For all of that walling investment, and the scouts are in anyways, this is not good if your team top on those archers had moved from their position to go deal with those archers. Scouts able to get in here. And that wasn't even with forging. Forging's about to be in. With forging, these spears aren't going to offer much resistance. And these archers are going to be in. Actually, where are they moving to? Tau only with 2 on gold. Kougri does have a nice fish boom going here, though. She should be able to get up pretty quickly here. Yeah, she's going to need to. Look at the gold, though. She's floating a lot of gold. She have a market. Probably should have dropped the market instead of a blacksmith, I guess. She could have bought the food to get up. Alright, the archers through the first layer wall. They're going to be through the second. And yeah, Kougri's just not going to have knights on the field quick enough to deal with it. Sitau's been forced to play defensive this whole time. And what are the upgrades looking like? Alright, it's going to be fully upgraded scouts. Bloodline's just about in. 30 seconds to go. And then Acro could definitely think about cleaning this. Archers are in. Here we go. Kougri still has not been able to click up yet. Yeah, was trying to get a market down, but now she's in huge trouble. Huge trouble. This woodline could be completely cleaned. Yeah, Kougri has scouts, but they are down here. This is a disaster. Oh, no. Oh, no. Yeah, I'm not sure if she just didn't notice. Maybe was preoccupied with the scouts further down below, but there was no attempt to move the villas or get a pre-tower. I think it may have been one of those situations where she noticed the archers, said, all right, I got to come back to that, and then was distracted and wasn't able to come back. But this was looking like Top One was in a great position with that free fish boom, and all of a sudden they are very much on the back foot. Both players for HALA on the way up, and Kougri, despite having that fish boom, she will be the last one to castle age. Archer numbers here in favor of Philip, scout numbers in favor of Acro. This should be a really good fight for HALA. And yeah, Sitaux has just lost all his archer numbers, and now Kougri is going to be even more dead. Yeah, her entire eco is going to be idled here under this town center. And the GG's called. Look at that. There was a sneak base in the back as well. HALA came to ball today. And just like that, Team Top One's out of the tournament. 3-0 sweep for HALA. Wow. Dang. That was impressive. Yes, the scouts managed to break into this spot, what, like three different times? Archers broken down here, ended up breaking it in up there. And, yeah, walls just... It's hard to keep stuff out in Feudal Age. Yeah, Kougri had completely cleaned the food out here. I do think, though, if she had gotten a market up earlier, had bought her way up, and could have had night production about the time these archers first got in. And I think because she had the double layered walls, when she saw the archers working at that first line, that would have been a good time to get some houses down, or even spend the stone to get stone walls down. If they had kept those archers out, this game could have looked very, very different. And if they had both kept the archers out and Kougri had been able to get a competitive castle time with all that extra food, Top One definitely could have taken this. But yeah, impressive performance by HALA. Let's look at the stats here real quickly. I don't think anything will be terribly surprising. Yeah, 21-5. There's a lot of dead vills in the mix, but also that fight at the end, very, very heavily weighted in HALA's favor. Food. Okay, this is fascinating. So despite the fish boom for Kougri, like 600 more food for Acro. So he must have just had a lot of farms in the mix. 19 farms. Kougri had 8. So I think that might have been part of the problem is Kougri went really heavy to gold. She might have gone heavy early on because she was thinking, I'm going to have to fight like hell for water. But of course there was nothing to fight there. And then I think just didn't transfer those vills from gold into something else. Could have I think used those vills for farm production. In any case, congratulations to HALA advancing to the finals. And they will be matched up against, let me just confirm that here. Yeah, they will be up against Team Elephantos. So Elephantos and HALA played, I think, in like the final week of the group stage. That was a 2-0 sweep for Elephantos. So HALA will certainly be looking for revenge. And boy, if they played like they did in this set, I think they'll be in a pretty good spot. But yeah, Top One, good having you this season as always. Hope we can have you guys again in a future season. Good luck in your other tournaments. I know you guys are involved in a bunch of other stuff. I think I saw you guys signed up as well for the 3v3 Nomad tournament with Paradox. So yeah, good luck in that one. All right, signing off, and yeah, we'll see HALA again in the finals. I'll certainly be casting that set. All right, signing off.